where equality is just another euphemism for mediocrity, where participation is more highly valued than achievement, where just enough to get by is the new standard of excellence. There is a small minority of people who fight back against such apathy, who struggle daily to reach new heights. These brave few are the hope for the future, the bright shining light for the next generation. They are the ones who will lead us to the places we have never dreamed of, to the undiscovered country, to reach goals only a few can even begin to imagine. Unfortunately, none of those people could be here tonight, so kick back and relax. Prepare yourself for several hours of fun, friendship, fascinating conversation, and fabulous music. All those F's, that's an alliteration and kind of a radio trick. Speaking of radio, you're listening to the most popular radio station in the history of broadcast radio, at least among stations that originate from Chris's living room. It's Curious Times. Your host is a curious listener. Here she is, Chris.
All right, welcome to Curious Times. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Since I forgot St. Patrick's Day yesterday, right up until when it became showtime, I didn't have any clue it was St. Patrick's Day. And so now I don't have any clue that it's St. Patrick's Day, and it's not St. Patrick's Day. So does that mean I have a clue? I have a clue that it's not St. Patrick's Day. Anyway, it's Sunday, March 18th already. It's almost the first quarter of the year gone. Unbelievable. And Amy's here. And I don't know if she's still going to be doing the Course in Miracles discussion or what the deal is. But we're going to find out in a hurry. Also, what's coming up, tomorrow we have Diana Monroe. Tuesday we have Lisa Nolan Shalosky. Wednesday, Thursday we're off, and Friday we have Selva. And then Saturday, what? Didn't we just have 17th? Oh, that's April. Oh my gosh, somehow my calendar got to April. No wonder nothing was matching up. Okay. Diana, Lisa, off Wednesday, Thursday, Salva's here Friday, Corinne de Winter is here Saturday. And so that's what's coming up. So let's bring Amy, the world's only and best Heaventologist. Hello, Amy, how are you?
I'm good. I
Very good.
I almost forgot that it was Sunday. I was supposed to go to Louisville, so I was going to do the show in the car. Then and I just got all busy, and then I went out to the store. Had to do my laundry. My laundry's in the. We're gonna have to play a song. So I have to go put my laundry in the dryer. But I am here, and just so you know, tomorrow you missed St. Patrick's Day, but tomorrow the feast of St. Joseph. It was kind of, when, I don't know when it actually started, but kind of in the modern folklore, when all the immigrants came to America, the Catholics came in two varieties, the Irish and the Italians. They didn't go to the same churches. It was all very, very segregated. So anyway, March 19th, 2 days after St. Patrick's Day, they have St. Joseph's Day, which is more of an Italian celebration of St. Joseph. You carry the blessed fava beans and wear red clothing, resembling home altars dedicated to St. Joseph. And I know you like I've gone to a bunch of St. Joseph.
Uh-oh. If you heard a beep, push the one button. Hey, there you are. I got you first. If you hear a beep in your ear, it means you got muted somehow.
Okay. So they put out sweet tables, sweets, like Italian pastries and sweets for St. Joseph. So since you missed Patrick's Day, St. Joseph, let's see, what does Wikipedia say? St. Joseph Day, March 19th, Feast of St. Joseph in Western Christianity, that means us. And its principal feast day of St. Joseph. He's the foster father of Jesus. All right, the foster father, because, of course, Jesus doesn't have a real father because of the Immaculate Conception. So it's feast. Person's named Joseph and Josephine get to have special treats, and also it's a holy day of carpenters because Joseph was a carpenter. It's also Father's Day in some Catholic countries, mainly in Spain, Portugal, and Italy. Between 1870 and 1955, an additional feast was celebrated in the honor of St. Joseph as spouse of the Blessed Virgin Mary, patron of the Universal Church, the latter title having been given to him by Pope Pius IX, blah, 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 blah. So, feast. And,
I ate. I did that today. I feasted all day. That's why I had no time to sleep. I was just busy stuff.
Tomorrow. As well.
Tomorrow. I did a day ahead. It was all in good intent,
St. Joseph is also the saint that you bury upside down in your front yard if you're trying to sell house. It helps you sell the house. It's the patron saint of real estate. And I just went to the Italian grocery store, but I forgot to get Italian pastries. So, whatever. Anyway, so that's that's that. Okay. When I was out at the store, I felt like I was having a heart attack. So, but I'm not. Still trying to settle down here a little bit. So, anyway, let's see, what else can I talk about before we talk about Course in Miracles? So I've been working on my genealogy again. And then I won on St. Patrick's Day, the Irish people who came over, like in coffin ships and stuff. And then on St. Patrick's Day, I won that reading with Renee, which I've been meaning to book one, but I've had a lot of expenses, so I couldn't really justify the expense. And lo and behold, I win one. So I guess the Irish eyes were smiling on me yesterday, so I'm going to use it to talk to the dead people, the ancestors, because there's so many holes. I can't quite. And it turns out that there's a bunch of these people still living in Nova Scotia. So, and they play hockey. So how fun would it be for my son, the hockey player, and my grandsons, the hockey players, to go to Canada and play hockey with their Canadian relatives. No wonder we became hockey people even though we lived in Florida. It's all starting to make sense. But another thing that's really interesting, I think, is the names. Well, Madison and Schuyler, they weren't like old Irish names. But my cousins had a bunch of kids, and there was a bunch of boys, George, Thomas, Michael, Patrick, anyway, and those were all names that they used to name themselves generation after generation after generation. So I thought that was really interesting. It just seems that we have some kind of internal homing pigeon that
yeah.
This isn't the first time this happened, right? When I moved from Boston to Albany, New York, which is like 3 hours away, the thing between Albany and Boston is Kareem DeWinter and the Basketball Hall of Fame. Got it. I moved to the town where I was conceived. Like, how crazy is that? So I think we have a internal compass that, you know, where we migrate like Canadian geeks back to our
back to our like Canadian geeks back to our wherever. And like we and we mentioned before about how for most of us to have met in the way that we did seems like that it would be too much to be a coincidence. You know what I mean? And so also
all of it.
Yeah, like a bit of a homing device that way too, and it's interesting. It's interesting how we all come together.
And today, this guy who was like, well, he was mostly friends with my brother, but we were all about the same age, so he was friends with me too. He found me on Facebook, and he lives in Louisville, and he works with my son. So I think that there's these people in our lives that are just destined to, the fate. Is that fate or destiny? I guess fate part.
I think what's the difference between destiny and fate?
Oh, I don't know. I knew you were going to go there. But let me ask my spirit guide.
Google. The Ascended Master Google. Fate is out of your control. Destiny is
I didn't even have to put the whole thing in. I put, what is the difference between DES, and it says fate. Well, the little poster says fate is what you're given. Destiny is what you make of it. Fate is out of your control. Destiny, what you are meant to do. Destiny has slightly more positive connotations. That was in Quora. Let's see. The difference between fate and destiny. Here, this guy's the Lunar Wolf. He should know the answer.
So fate, the preordained course of your life that will occur because of or in spite of your actions. Destiny, a set of predetermined events within your life that you take an active course in shaping.
Okay. That sounds good. And now I found these people. Thea Luna and Matthias Soul. They are twin flames in Australia. So they must know what they're talking about.
Oh, my God.
I know. Fate comes from the Latin word fatum, meaning that which has been spoken. Therefore, through the ages, fate has come to be associated with that which has been predetermined for our lives. Fate is based on the notion that there's a natural order in the universe which cannot be changed no matter how hard we try. The ancient Greeks and Romans even believed that the three goddesses called Clotho, Bacchus, and Atropos, or the three fates, had a role in determining a person's ultimate life path. Overall, fate tends to have pretty negative connotations, which is so funny because something else just said that to these guys plagiarized. It said it the exact same way. For example, people who experience misfortune often tend to believe that fate is the cause. This is so funny. That was right in the Wikipedia, in the whatever. Spirituality, fate, fate is what occurs when we ignore our life's calling and don't actively work to reconnect with our souls. When we leave our lives up to fate, we're basically handing the reins of control to other people and outside circumstances. Destiny has a much more positive connotation than fate. Deriving from the Latin word destinate, destiny means that which has been firmly established. While this definition also refers to the idea of predetermined events, destiny is something we can actively shape and alter. An element of choice. Qualities such as courage, compassion, willpower, and patience can all help change your destiny. Everything changes your destiny. So does what's the opposite of courage? Cowardice, being a bitch, being even, and being impatient will also change your destiny. Spiritually, destiny is intimately connected with our ultimate life path. When we choose to step up and take responsibility for our lives, then we are actively shaping our destiny. Even if we don't step up, we're actively shaping our destiny. But anyway, maybe it's different in Australia. What's the difference?
So here's something in history. This is interesting. So fate is represented by the three sisters in Greek mythology. Clotho, spun the thread of your life. Lachesis, I don't know how to pronounce this.
I don't know how to say their names either.
Measured its length. So Clotho, which is short for clothing probably.
Right, Clotho.
Okay, spun the thread of your life. Lachesis measured its length, and Atropos cut it when you were to die. Variations of these supernatural sisters are seen in Roman and Norse mythology as well. Fate was seen as something supernaturally dictated and beyond the control of mortals. Destiny can be seen in words like Calvinistic predestination and American manifest destiny. It implies an outcome predetermined by a set of events which, once put into motion, move inexorably forward. With this concept, humans have a hand in events, but only to get the ball rolling. So that's more in line with my thinking on it, that they're pretty close. You know what I mean? It's really semantics between the difference between, but that was interesting. I like that. One spins
I would
the thread.
say, right, and then you kind of got free will is kind of like the steering wheel. The steering wheel. So then we've got, spins, draw out, and cut. Thread of life. Her Roman equivalent is Nona. Clotho. That's where we got clothing from, spinning the threads of human life. Clothing used to be made out of humans. Human threads. The threads of life.
And then that makes you think about string theory then. You know what I mean? The string theory.
What?
That's like a bunch of threads.
Beautiful. That's where the threads come from. Everything is the same. And that's the thing. The more I listen to different people and hear about their books, I don't even read them anymore because it's like, unless it's written by Corinne de Winter or someone that is in this group, it's all the same, and it has to all be the same because it just does. So it is string theory, and that's where they get string, thread. You say string, I say thread. So
there you go. All that has to happen is someone has to say one word, and then poof, we can go and kill half an hour just looking up what's in those words. There.
So Clotho. And there's a whole. So, but these people, thank God for the Australian twin flames.
Mm-hmm.
So they can put it in perspective for us. So, all right, moving right along. Who's 770? Do we know who 770 is?
No, we don't. Hit number 1 on your phone. Oh, I know who it is. It's Nancy. Remember Nancy, the funny blonde from...
Oh, right. From Georgia.
Yeah. Hey, Nancy. Speak, woman. Mute yourself. Okay, whoever's at 770, you pick
wait,
one. And
can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hey, y'all.
Oh, yes, I can hear you.
All right, hold on. Let me mute my computer and finish the message that I was sending on the computer.
Yeah,
because I honestly believe that Destiny...
It's only live radio. It's only live radio. Go ahead and finish your texting and...
Hold on. I honestly believe Destiny can save us from our fate. I do. I do.
Destiny. Okay,
yeah.
That's gonna my
there we go.
Okay.
Yeah. Deep thoughts from... All right. So are we good? Can you hear me? Is there an echo?
So then, was it fate that brought you here just out of happenstance at the moment that we're talking about fate and destiny, or was it destiny that brought you here right at that moment, given that you're an expert on fate versus destiny, and we were happening to... Which was it? What brought you here today? Was it fate or destiny?
Let's see. Both. Because I think they're intertwined. And they save each other from, it's a battle. Destiny and fate's a constant battle. And, yeah, here I am. Oh, and it's been a while, and I'm sorry. And I always apologize. And you say, don't apologize. But when my heart tells me to call, I do.
There you are. See, now, so, when I'm calling you, so... you were maybe being psychic, and that's how come you called.
Oh, no. I'm not being a psychic. Amy's the psychic.
No, Amy's no longer a psychic. She's merely a Heaventologist.
No, I'm anti-psychic.
Oh, so you're a mermaid and a Heaventologist.
I'm a mermaid and I'm an existential EMT. Existential EMT.
And the hockey mom. Oh, and now she's also
genealogist.
Yeah.
But no, I abhor mediumship.
You know what you should call yourself? An amyologist.
An amyologist. That's perfect.
Yeah, you're just an amyologist. Don't ask.
That's all I want to be, and that's what Shelby told me. Is I just needed to be my authentic self. So it would be an amyologist. Beautiful.
Yeah, you're an amyologist. I'm not really calling to ask anything of you, except that I heard these beautiful voices, and I thought, I'm tired of cleaning. And I was like, I'll call.
You haven't been here in forever, so what's been going on in your world?
Oh, I've been in this quiet, peaceful, beautiful state, where I don't want to rock the boat. And I was really sick about a year and a half, 2 years ago. Really sick. And so now I feel well, and I'm just enjoying feeling well and creating and, I've been working on a book, so that's kept me busy.
What's your book about? Well, I'll read your book.
I didn't write it. I've been writing a book since I was 12, but this one I designed for another person because I'm a graphic designer, so I've been designing it for her and just, staying fast and steady on that, and junking and refinishing furniture and raising my daughter and, you know, being a good wife, having sex with my husband and cleaning the house and cooking dinner. And, I mean, what else is there?
That's a full day.
Oh, it totally is. Well, he travels a lot, so his part's only like 2 days a week. Everything else is, you know, full-time. But, no, I'm just happy and quiet and lonely, a little lonely.
What do you attribute your health to?
What?
What do you attribute your health to? You don't have to get into details of what was wrong, but to the doctor, or did you heal yourself?
Oh, I went to the doctor, and they sent me to the emergency room. My sodium levels were really low. This wasn't healthy, and I got really dehydrated and didn't take care of it, and was scared to go to the doctor. You know, thought I can live.
Oh my God,
life.
you're telling my story. You were telling my story.
Yeah, I was like, I can live my entire life and not go to the doctor, the dentist.
Right, because I'm scared of doctors.
Yeah, and I'm scared of them too, and so, you know, I was like, I'm not going ever. And then I was so sick, I was like, screw this. I can't even drive. Like, I got to go to the doctor. And they called me back and was like, get your ass to the emergency room because you're really bad off. And
that's what happened to me, and I had to have an IV because I was so dehydrated.
Me too. What was it with you?
Well, we have to say it on the radio, but my gallbladder, I had my gallbladder out like 30 years ago, and it never caused problems because you don't need it. But without being too graphic, it's like I have a buildup of bile acid. And,
of what?
Bile. You know, that stuff in your stomach. You know, it's like
yeah. That yeah.
So it leaves my body, and it leaves my body like as soon as I eat, and it was causing me to be just incredibly dehydrated.
Dehydrated, yes, which is a very bad feeling.
Yeah, it's a horrible feeling because then I was just lost it. So of course, anytime I get, because I had breast cancer, so man, anytime I get sick or like something, I'm like, oh, I have pancreatic cancer. And,
right.
So I don't want to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
I'm gonna die. So then I was like, oh, I'm depressed. Well, yeah, I'm depressed because I'm dehydrated, you know.
And you feel like crap. And
yeah.
when you're dehydrated, all right, Chris, shut up. Don't judge me. When you're dehydrated, do you have diarrhea?
Yeah, that's what I've had for like 8 minutes. Chronic, nonstop.
Oh,
exactly.
no.
So it takes up my whole life. It takes up, oh my God, is this fate or destiny or are we twin flames?
The other way around. Oh, you guys.
Yeah, for like 8 months. That takes up my whole life. It takes up my entire life.
Yeah, and it makes you feel like crap, and you could have Crohn's.
And you don't want to go out because it's like, unless you've got like a map of the bathrooms.
Yeah,
and,
it's ridiculous.
I'm not going to.
Chris, we're not talking to you. It might be your show, but we're talking.
How did you solve this?
You know, I haven't solved it. I have an appointment on Friday, and the last 3 times I've gone back, my sodium levels are still low, but not to the point where they want to hospitalize me. But I have finally gotten rid of, you know, the loose, let's just say diarrhea.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It just worked its way out. You know, like you have to do probiotics, which I didn't do. I did yogurt and stuff like that. and changed my diet, but I still am so scared every time I go to the doctor. My blood pressure is so high that immediately when I walk in, they're like, oh, my God. And then 30 minutes later, I'm like, check it again. I'm fine. I like you people. I'm good. Check it again. And it goes down 20.
I feel that's such a freaking, like it's all an ordeal. And then that makes me sicker. That makes me sicker.
Yes, because I'm so scared. I used to have night tremors, and wake up and go, oh my God, I'm dying. And then, because I felt so bad. And now I've gotten through that, and, it's scary. Being human's not real easy. I mean, it really isn't.
Oh, it's very, very difficult.
Yeah, my grandpa used to always say, when I die, I know I'm going to heaven because I've already lived through hell. And I kind of believe him. It's like you just never know, what's going to take you down, or if you're doing it to yourself, or if it's going to be a car accident, or you just don't know, and it just terrifies me. But taking care of myself, I don't do the best at it, but I try. And I finally feel better. And I don't know, next Friday I can go and they'll tell me, yeah, you're worse off than you were last time, which, I don't know. They tell me, you weigh too much. I'm like, shut up. I mean, I'm happy.
Yeah. Right. I know. I weigh too much. I don't smoke that much because it's hard to smoke.
Well, and then she goes, you got some wheezy in your chest. And I'm like, well, it's allergy season. Like, give me a break. And I smoke too. And so they put me on that, what is it, Wellbutrin. It does help.
I've been on that before.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of helped.
Oh, we are twin flames.
What?
We are twin flames. That's fascinating. But yes, I have the same thing. I don't take care of myself. And then when I have a symptom, I, like when I was like all day today, I was moving furniture and stuff, and then I went to the store, and I didn't drink. I don't drink enough.
But you know what? When you do drink, that's what they got on to me about. You have to drink something with electrolytes. If you're drinking water or vitamin water, or that's what put me into the ER. Vitamin water's shit. If there's nothing good, there ain't nothing to it.
No,
you need Propel, you need Smart Water, Gatorade, everything else.
Yeah, and
bananas.
Bananas are good.
Yeah, bananas are good. And coconut water.
Coconut water is, Anyway, so I was like out of breath. And it was also like, it was really hot here today. It was like 60. Yesterday it was like 30. So I was overdressed, underhydrated. And I felt like I'm shortness of breath. So instead of like, oh, I need something to drink, like, oh, I'm having a heart attack. I can't seem to, exactly what you said. I don't engage in self-care.
Right.
Then, and I don't like to go to the doctor. You put those two together, and and it's been like 8 months. I just haven't felt good, and it's affecting my life because I just moved, so I haven't really been able to do as much as I want to do. And a lot of my weekends I've been in bed. Anyway, that's amazing. That's amazing. So how's your daughter?
Well, she just came down with a hurt tummy, but she's usually great,
How old is she now?
11. And you have to trust your instincts and not let your fears keep you from going, because at the end of the day, they can fix pretty much anything. You have to have faith in that. Like, there's nothing you're going to shock them with. Guilt and that's what gets me, the guilt. Whatever I did that is making me feel this way made me do it to myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So I have to get over that. So know that we're in the 21st century and they can fix it, anything. Better fix it while they can, or, get ahead of it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think almost everybody, I think that humans in general are not good with self-care.
Just scared. I'm a big, the worst at it. The dentist ear.
Oh my God, yeah, same here.
So scared. That's going to be my next one. It might take me 6 months, but I'll get there. But I'm so scared of him. I don't even want to, I can't preach on that one. Can't preach on that one because I haven't been there in 6 years. So, just, yeah, somebody else can preach to me about that, but, I can't. I'm scared of him. I did get a mammogram, and it came back clear, but God, being a human is so difficult. You got to check your teeth, check your heart, check your boobs. Jesus, can we not just go to the grocery store and...
I'm all about the Little House on the Prairie method. You know what I mean? I'm all about, the Little House on the Prairie method, which is to say, there wasn't hospitals, centers, and shit like this. The doctor had to travel by carriage for 3.5 days to come to so you died when it was your time to die.
Exactly. You didn't have to have, a double mastectomy before you got there. It was just here's your... Yeah. Oh, my God. So, I don't know.
Yeah. Good for those people that, go and do that stuff, but I highly doubt that I'll ever have a mammogram in my life. You know what I mean? I doubt it.
You have not had a mammogram?
Why would I?
I wouldn't. So I only had one, and I ended up with cancer. And I wouldn't have had cancer if I hadn't gotten a mammogram.
That's what I'm...
But did you get rid of it?
Yeah, and my boobs.
Well.
So if any men are listening, I have chronic diarrhea and no breath. So give me a call at 630.
And are you single and available?
Yeah, my husband died, so yes.
Okay.
But I'm not looking because I'm not going to,
That's when you want.
This is too much. It's too much.
Oh, I get it. At some point you're like, are you kidding me? I'm not playing this game. But
I did say, though, that, usually when a person is dehydrated, they become constipated, not the other way around.
No, but
really?
it's the going leaves you dehydrated because you lose too much water in the process.
You can become dehydrated from having excessive diarrhea. Yes, I concur.
Yeah.
But usually, dehydration will bring, if you're not giving yourself enough fluids, you will.
Right, that's true. That's exactly true. Yes, for the diarrhea show. Would anybody like me to? Would anybody like a stool reading?
Water helps you.
I'll go to the bathroom and I'll read my
I'm still perplexed on that. Like, constipation comes from. All right, I'm not even going there. I'm
from
good.
opioid. It comes anyway. Well, good.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that I'm glad to hear that you are doing better.
Yeah, until next Friday, and we'll see. But I feel good. She's going to get on to me for being heavy, but I'm going to tell her, like, are you kidding me? I finally feel good, and I don't have low sodium and chronic diarrhea. So, hell, I'm fat, but I've been married 20 years. I ain't, I'm not trying to hook up or, like, I'm good. Like, just let me be a little chubby. And I'm not, like, I'm a size 12, maybe.
That's so not fat, Jesus.
Oh, my stars.
I mean, but she gets on to me, like, well, I get it.
Reported. People like that should be reported. That's abusive.
Well,
here's what I say. Turn the, like these people, they don't expect the unexpected. And I'm like all saying, like, next time some doctor or something says something that outrageous to you, get ready to turn around and tell them that's extremely abusive for you to even say.
Well, I did tell her I was a new patient and she didn't know my history. And when I showed up to her, I was half dead. And that every time I come back to her and I gain more weight, that to me is being healthier. But yeah, when she comes at me this next time, when I feel the best I've felt in 2 years and she tells me I'm too heavy, I'm just going to be like, well, I might be heavy, but I feel great. And, fat and happy's my mantra. Like, I'd rather be fat and happy than skinny and, lethargic and half dead. So that's
you
it.
Can just if I wanna be treated rudely by anybody, I sure as hell am not gonna pay some doctor a whole bunch of money to do that. I'll go get it for free at Walmart. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
right, or just like or just beat yourself up. You don't need
Yeah, I'll just go
exactly.
my ass looks big in these jeans or something like that.
Are we the only 3 people here? Am I like
no, there's a full chat room. There's a full chat room.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to shut up.
We have one of the most populated shows in the history of Curious Times. But I'm glad this is so talk about fate and death.
Well, I don't want to take over, so I will bow out.
It's okay because we don't have anything else to talk about.
But
it's not that interesting. This is diarrhea. It's much more interesting.
You may as well hang around because I'm out of here in about just under a half an hour, and so Amy will need someone to co-host with.
Well, I don't want to bogart or take over or whatever. Like, Chris always gets on to me because I get to talking, and then she has to tell me to shut up. So y'all tell me to shut up.
Talking, yeah.
That's when we have. Wait a second. That's when there's it's a reading night, and there's 5 other people.
Yeah, that's when there's a reading night. This is not a reading night. I abhor readings.
All right, I'm trying to put myself on the webcam. Let's see if I can do this.
All right.
But if you have a question, I'll give you a reading. I just don't want giving.
You what?
If you have a question, I'll give you a quick reading.
Okay. Girl, we talk so... look at me. Oh, I look like a hot mess. Can y'all see me?
No, not yet.
Thank God. All right, let's see.
There you go. Yeah.
There I am. All right. Quick reading.
Weren't you blonde once?
You always thought I was blonde. I'm not blonde. I'm brown-headed.
We're not blonde. Well, I have eyes. I can fucking see.
Hold on a second. Look, can you hold, please?
Oh, sure. Yeah, don't mind us. It's just live radio.
Shut up. Emma just came in and said, you just left me. So.
Oh. Hey, go take care of the kid.
All right. Sorry.
When I needed you most.
Hold on. Look at my garage.
Just when I need. It's time for a song anyway, Amy. What do you think?
Perfect. Can you play 2 songs so I can go put my clothes in the dryer?
Yeah, go. When you rock a check, go. Go. I even muted her, so now she has to go. What is that song? I'm gonna play that song. You left me just when I needed you most. 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 You left me. Okay, come on, stupid player. It always, Windows Media Player. I go to search for a song in my playlist, it goes not responding. And it spins and spins and spins for a few minutes, and then it decides to do something. It's ridiculous. There we go. This one I needed you most. There we go. We'll play that one. That used to be one of my crying songs.
You packed in the morning, I stared out the window and I struggled for something to say. You looked in the rain without closing the door. I didn't stand in your way. Now I miss you more than I missed you before, and now where I'll find comfort, God knows. 'Cause you left me just when I needed you most. Left me just when I needed you most. Now most every morning I stare out the window and I think about where you might. I've written you letters that I'd like to send. If you could just send one to me. I need you more than I needed before, and now where I'll find comfort, God knows. 'Cause you left me just when I needed you most.
Okay, enough of that. So now we're gonna go and I got my little fix. So we're gonna play because Amy's getting her laundry, so she asked for 2 songs, so we're gonna give her one more song. And let us go with what is this song? Let me see. What is this song? What the heck is this? Well, that's kind of trippy. We won't play that one. Here, let's go with this. We're gonna go with this. Oh, let's do this one.
Is this the real life? Is see. Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality. Open your eyes, look up to the skies and see. I'm just a fool, I need no sympathy. Because I'm easy come, easy go, little high. Any way the wind blows doesn't really matter to me. Mama, just killed a man, put a gun against his head, pulled my trigger, now he's dead. Mama, life had just begun, but now I've done and thrown it all away. Didn't mean to make you cry. If I'm not back again this time tomorrow, carry on, doesn't really matter.
She does crack me up.
Too late, my time has come. Then shivers down my spine, body's aching all the time. Goodbye, everybody, I've got to go. Gotta leave you all behind and I see a little silhouette of a man. Scaramouche, will you do the fandango? Thunderbolt and lightning, very, very frightening me. Galileo, Figaro. I'm just a poor boy, nobody loves me. He's just a poor boy from a poor family, sparing his life from this one complicated. Easy come, easy go, will you let me go? Bismillah, no, we will not let you go. Let him go. Bismillah, we will not let you go. Let him go. Bismillah, we will not let you go. We'll not let you go. Never, will not let you go. Oh, mamma mia, mamma mia. Mamma mia, let me go. Beelzebub and the devil were a sack for me. For me. For me.
Alright, okay, we're back. And we'll do a quick shout out. I don't know if Amy's back yet or not. Maybe we'll see some sign. Okay, she is just in time. Okay, Amy's back. And of course Nancy's there. And we have Christy in the chat room, Dan, Diane, Kathleen, Marie, Mary Margaret, and Yvette. How are you? And thank you everybody for being here. So there you are. We had the halftime entertainment from Nancy, who's not blonde. Who's never been blonde. Who's never been blonde. Never been blonde. Where did I get it in my head that are you sure? Who's on speaker? Because we're getting some feedback. Hello! Yeah,
I'm not on speaker.
I'm hearing my hello! Okay, now Nancy she just like cut herself off. And here we see her lips moving. This is perfect. We see her lips moving and we don't hear her. Now it's time for us to practice our lip reading, boys and girls. Okay, so call back. Your phone hung up is what happened. Your phone call hung up. Is you were listening to us, see that we were getting the feedback because you were listening on your computer and your phone, and it was feeding back through the phone. Your phone call hung up. Can you hear me? Nod or something. Okay, your phone call hung up. There's no need to be so confused. It's just a simple phone call that hung up. So phone back. It's like, what's so hard? How did you get here in the first place? You must have called. You must have phoned, yes? You looking for the number? Hit redial. How about redial?
Yeah, and the code is, it's really easy now. 711, like 7-Eleven.
Mhm. I just think that was the best thing Jenny ever did.
Oh my God, it used to make me crazy.
Like one of the very best things she ever did. Well, she must have hurt her finger. She sure puts it up a lot. You leave it hanging out there like that all the time, it's sure to get hurt. Okay. All right, so, and when you get here, Nancy, push one. She's not, I don't understand. She has not figured out. She learned how to use her phone. Once. I don't understand. Like, what? 631-353-4342. The end. Then when you get a hello, blah 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 blah. That's 0011. See? It's not rocket science. Hey, I heard you. See? There you are. All right. There.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
See, now I'm on the echo on the stupid computer device. All right, I will. Okay.
There you go.
All right.
Okay.
There we are.
Yay! See how easy that can be?
Yes. I see all these people that are annoyed with me also, but...
No one's annoyed. We have nothing but time to kill.
Yes.
Yeah, we got nothing but time to kill. I'm gone in 10 minutes. Gone in 10 minutes. I'll be gone.
All right, I'm going to tell Dan to shut up, and then...
No. Dan is the man. Nope.
Yeah, he's like the sheriff.
All right, I love you, Dan. Because I don't call in enough to tell him to shut up.
Here, Christy wants a card. She can have one.
The very first time that like poor Dan is sitting there at my show, Korean, and he used to have, his name is Dan, and so he had a nickname on the other platform called Vico Dan was his name. And so then the first time Korean meets him in my chat room, she starts like blasting him.
Picking on him, just like I wanted to pick on him, poor guy.
Just blasted his ass all over the place because of his name. And I'm all like, leave the poor guy alone. It's just a freaking nickname. Jeez. He's a nice
guy. There's something about him you just want to pick on or pay attention to.
Oh my God, he comes to this frickin' hen house night after night after night.
He's a nice guy. He is the nicest guy. Oh
I know,
my God.
but there's
nicest
something
guy
about
ever.
him you're drawn to, and you just want to be like, what's Dan doing?
Okay.
You're a piece.
The nicest guy.
Nicest
guy I never married. You know what I mean? He's the nicest guy I never married. That says a lot. Anyway, go ahead.
You like him so much, you're not going to marry him.
No, not
okay.
this. Not meant.
Well, Christy, you asked for a card. Like the darkest card. This is like the darkest card I've ever pulled. So.
What?
It's for Christy. It's for Christy.
Oh, okay.
Christy asked for a card.
Okay.
And it's the darkest card I've ever pulled, and this is why I don't like doing readings anymore. Anyway, it is the card of regret. So that in order for your circumstances to change, you're going to need to have a more positive outlook. I don't even know what to say about this. I wish I just hadn't even, because I'm not in the mood to give a reading. Anyway, positive outlook does not mean throw a bunch of sugar on top of a bad situation. But everything is holographic. It's critical that you see things through a new lens, not rose-colored glasses, because but try to change your perspective on some things, because according to this card, you're so full of regrets at this particular point that you're slowing everything down and making it difficult to sustain any new plans that you have. So with that, I'm not doing any more readings tonight because that was just a great big freaking buzzkill. Sorry, Christy. Can you hear me?
You actually said that you started this whole ball rolling, Amy, by telling Nancy that you would give her a reading.
Okay, and that was for Nancy.
And so, yes, we hear you, Christy. Did you,
okay.
Christy?
I'm sorry.
Christy? Are you there?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. I went to we have a UU church, Universalist Unitarian Church in Midland, and they did our Ostera, spring equinox tonight. We did our own little ritual, and we did our little eggs, and we had a good time. And the church is set up, because it's an old church, and they kept adding on to it over the past, 50 years. On the right-hand side is the big church with all the chairs and the kitchen and the tables. And on the left-hand side is a smaller kitchen and a smaller area, and that's where the minister used to live. You know what I mean? Anyway, we were on the right-hand side having our own little potluck, and afterwards, and everybody drinks dish to pass, and we're cleaning up and putting everything away and running the dishwasher, and I go upstairs to where we had a ritual, and somebody left a coffee pot on. And it's one of those huge coffee pots, like, I don't know, like a 40-gallon coffee pot.
Right.
Those
AA meetings, right.
with a spigot thingy. I'm like, dudes, somebody left this plugged in. And I unplug it, and I'm dumping it, and it's like steaming hot, and I'm dumping all the grounds, and everybody's on the other side of the church, putting, their food and potluck away. And I look around the corner, and there's people in there. I'm like, oh, I have to be quiet. I didn't know that there was a whole group of people in there. Maybe it's like an adult Bible study over there or something. I better quit swearing, Jesus. And I go around the corner, I'm like, there's people up there. It's like, I know. That's the AA meeting that meets every Sunday night. I'm like,
didn't they say,
oh my
there's
God, I
really
just
people who have
dumped out 50
coffee pots that
gallons of
big.
their fucking coffee. And I'm like, I thought that was left over from our group that we had like 3 hours ago. And I'm like, help me find the coffee. And I'm looking all over the cupboards, and I can't find coffee to save my life. And I'm slamming. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. If I had just given up, I mean, seriously, drugs or drinking on St. Patrick's Day, and you just took my fucking coffee, you better believe I'm going to be pissed. Help me find the coffee. And I'm going from one side to the other side saying, somebody, God, help me find the coffee. This is funny. So when you pulled the regret card, that was my regret today. I dumped their whole thing of coffee, and you know what I did? I told someone else, and I went to my van, and I said, you deal with it. This is not I didn't do it. I didn't do it. You explain to them that you dumped the coffee, because I'm leaving.
Did you leave?
He laughed like a pansy. That's my regret story of the day. When you pulled regret, oh my God, I have been obsessing over this ever since. Like, seriously, if you had just given up everything, like, I don't know, drinking, and you've given up drugs, and you've given up cigarettes, and the only good thing about your break in, 20 minutes is that caffeine that you just brewed.
Yeah, isn't that what I said too? I said it's a coffee pot like an AA meeting. I don't know if you heard me. I said they have those big coffee pots because because coffee is a huge part of the AA experience. That's so funny.
I'm feeling regret about this because I wanted to go across the road and get Starbucks, little gift certificates and just leave it on the table and say, sorry, bye.
Oh my God. Do you see what the message is?
Don't come to coffee.
It wasn't your you know what I mean? It's like don't get yourself involved in someone else left the coffee pot. It was not just because, you know what I mean? It's like just focus on your little wheelhouse as opposed to the other coffee, There's coffee pots on all over America. Right, as Kathleen said, not your circus, not your monkeys. If no one's going to come and turn your coffee pot off, just something to think about. I'm not telling you how to live your life, but a loud and clear message to me is, it really was, what am I trying to say? Just stay, just make your world smaller. Don't take on the problems of the world because the problems of the world are overwhelming. And the end. I don't really feel like lecturing tonight.
Thank you for.
So the next time you see a coffee pot, just let it boil over. Let the place burn down. If that's what has to happen. There's fate and destiny and free will. And exercise your free will not to, we all do that. We all try to save everybody else because secretly we want someone to save us. At the end of the day, people who come to save us turn our coffee pots off because they don't have the full picture. They're just seeing it from their vantage point, and it's like, oh my God, turn off the coffee pot. You know, in your world, that made perfectly good sense. But there's a million other vantage points.
Well, yeah, but then, you know, how I like to dwell on things. Now I'm worried about my own karma. So when I got home, I had to check my own coffee to make sure I had enough for tomorrow, too, because that's my karma. Somebody's going to screw with my coffee.
Yeah. Well, karma doesn't work that way, thank goodness. If it works at all, it doesn't work that way. But I think that that's kind of the lesson for, you know, we all have so many regrets, and we all feel so poorly about ourselves in our heart of hearts that we're always trying to unplug someone else's coffee pot, because then we think that, you know, the Prince Charming's going to come and unplug our coffee pot, but that'll probably be what happens. He'll come and unplug your coffee pot at 8:30 in the morning when you haven't even had your first cup yet. You'll have to have Chang or something.
I want a new car.
Kathleen said it best. Now it's time for Nancy's reading.
All right,
that's hysterical, though. That is like so. That is just so human. That is just so freaking human. It isn't even funny. Okay, Nancy.
Yes. Am I on mute?
Nope.
Oh.
You got.
Okay. Hey, I know you said you didn't want to do any readings, but...
No, I did that one. Now I'm hoping I get something.
Hey, if you don't want to do a reading, I can just talk. I can bullshit.
Nope, I got it. It's right here. Okay. You got the King of Water. The King of Water of all things. After we were talking about dehydration.
Oh, that's hysterical.
You're a person who commands respect, but not love. You're considerate and responsible, kind but ambitious, and a skilled neighbor. You are also a born manipulator. And you have arrived in your position of power by using brain as opposed to brawn. You avoid taking people into your confidence and often do your work behind the scenes. And you are intimidating to those around you. Does that ring true to you? That ring true to you? So it's a water card. So let me tell you.
Yeah, a little bit. It does.
You know, I
say a little bit.
I mean, I don't know you that well, but some of it I think, you know, you are definitely, you're definitely a force to be reckoned with, and kind of what's right is right, and it's not your first rodeo, so you don't trust people because you know people are not trustworthy.
Yeah.
Almost have some, I don't want to say masculine, like I'm not talking in a sexual way. I'm talking more like in a, you've been forced into this position, and it's fun. You've just got all of these traits that we have. You know, there's light sides and dark sides of them. So it's important to know when you can rest and take care of yourself, when you can drink water of all things, and allow people into your life enough that they can have an opportunity to earn your trust. You don't want to just trust people because, I feel bad that I don't trust them. I feel bad, I'm so skeptical, so I'm just going to trust people. No. But let your guard down enough and, let your walls down enough that people can get close enough so they'll at least have an opportunity to earn your trust. You don't have to give it to everybody. Trust your intuition.
Yeah.
But I think it's actually going to help your health a lot, because
to trust
you
people?
think of not necessarily trust people, but not be such a island. Not be just such an island. I'll take care of it. Take care of it myself. Trust other people to do what they have to do. Ask for help. Not have to do everything yourself. Not necessarily trust people, because people are, for the most part, trustworthy. But you can dole out little modules of trust. Like, I trust this doctor to...
My question is, can I move forward in light better than what I came from?
Oh, totally.
Okay.
But, and that's where a lot of this is coming from. Is the situation, is having to do this because of your circumstances. But you're not in that place. You're not in that place anymore. And you learned enough from those circumstances that history is not going to repeat itself. So when I'm talking about doling out these modules of trust, is yourself. You need to trust yourself, that you will take good care of yourself, and trust yourself that you will make good decisions, and trust yourself that circumstances are moving forward, and it's not Groundhog Day. So maybe the first person you need to dole out a module of trust to is yourself. And again, because we hold on so tight to the past, that's not necessarily an easy thing to do. But just like you would, like with your daughter or something, if she, disobeys, punish her, and then she's given another chance. You don't forget her past transgression, but enough faith in her that she learned her lesson. Use some of that same parenting on yourself. Trust yourself. Dole out little modules of trust. I trust properly hydrate. I trust myself to eat right. I trust myself to, follow through with whatever care the doctor suggests, or if you don't agree with what the doctor says, you trust yourself enough to go get a second opinion. Dole out some trust yourself. I think that's really it. You need to not be so hard on yourself. Trust yourself. And since you don't trust yourself, do it in small modules, and then you'll have some benchmarks as to how much you've grown, how much you've changed, how much your experience, how much wisdom you've garnered from your experiences, And so that one day you'll wake up and you will truly believe in your heart of hearts that it's not Groundhog Day. Until you do that for yourself, to a certain extent, it is going to be Groundhog Day because you're going to gravitate to situations unknowingly.
I'm over Groundhog Day, and I'm turning the page, and I'm done. I'm done with that.
But what we have to all understand, I'm speaking to everybody, not just you, because so many of these things are just basic human nature, is we all have to understand that we, as much as we're done, as much as we've learned, there is some almost animalistic
over that
thing
pain.
inside. Yeah, we're over it in our head, but there's inside us that just gravitates to what is familiar. And we don't even care if it's bad or good. It's just familiar. We know how it's going to end.
Yeah.
So there isn't uncertainty. And there's a part of us that just subtly gravitates towards that. We get new players and new, kind of gussy it up a little bit so we think it's not Groundhog Day. But what we all need to understand is there's something core inside us that gravitates to what is familiar to us, whether it's in our best interest, or not. So,
can you agree with me? And I'll let you go because Chris hates when I do this, but
it's fun.
Shut up.
Chris is fun. Chris left.
Oh, she left. She's gone. She left the building.
She has a secret life. We don't know. She doesn't tell us about it, but she has a secret life. She's off to her secret life. We think she's dating someone. But anyway, carry on.
That's awesome. I have tears kind of welled up in my eyes, and telling you, I have dealt with this pain and this drama and stuff since I was 10 years old, and I don't like to carry any of it, and I want it to all go away. So anytime.
Here's the thing: is once energy is, whatever that word is, it doesn't go away. It has to be transmuted. A lot of times we will avoid those situations, or we will just never again, or come up with something that it is physically and emotionally impossible to do, because the energy of the situation is there. So, instead of dwelling on the trauma and the circumstances, because those are not the case anymore. It almost becomes like a disability. These kind of things almost become like disabilities. We still have to carry the scars, but there's that saying. There's a bunch of sayings, but there's something about like these Japanese pottery. When it breaks, they mend it with gold, and it's like stronger. So don't be afraid of your past. Do not be afraid of your past. At the same time, you don't want to embrace it and dwell in it. But don't be afraid of the energy that is tied to those situations, because you've done the work. The situation.
I'm not afraid of it. I'm so heartbroken by all of it. And I'm so tired of reliving, I'm just tired of reliving the death. I'm tired of, I just want to, and, I embrace the memories, and I embrace their lives, and I'm just so sad that I can't let them go at peace without coming back. And I don't know how to just be at peace with them being gone, because they come in my dreams and they come in my spirituality.
Well, this is what I try to teach people to do when someone and some relationships are deeper than others, and some deaths come at a time where it's bad timing,
premature or
right.
Too soon.
It's just at the worst possible time. And that certainly sounds like what your situation was. But you can redefine the relationship. So instead of focusing on the lack, and this takes time. It's not like you can just wake up one morning and say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to be glad. I'm so happy that it was just like the best thing that ever happened." That's nonsense. You can redefine the relationship. They come to you in your dream. They come to you in your dreams because you long for them so much. They long for them so much. But it sounds to me like in a certain way it's a little bit backfiring, because then it makes you miss them more, instead of bringing happiness, like, oh, they're still around and they're still there for me. It reminds you of the whole...
he comes to me, well, I lost him, 20, it's been so many years, and 20, almost 30 years ago, so I can't even, have a normal conversation, because, when he comes to me, he's alive, and I'm so pissed. I'm like, are you kidding me? You've been alive this whole time, and you, tricked me, and, oh, my God, I'm so mad, but I'm so happy to see him alive, and, and I'm not a normal case, because I lost my brother at 12, my grandfather at 16, my father at 19, my best friend at 23. I am not a normal case. And so I feel them and I see them and I have peace with them, but I still don't know how to explain to my daughter, we'll die. And she's like, what do you mean? I mean, they're gone. They're just gone. She, and it's just so sad. And
yeah, it is. It's horribly sad. I had to, the weirdest thing happened this weekend. A friend of mine from high school, I was talking about this earlier, reconnected with me on Facebook, and he works with my son. And he was a really good friend of my brother's, and he was kind of a really good friend of mine. And they were very close. He was, in our inner circle, not just someone we went to high school with. And I had to go through this whole story of how, in the past 15 years, first I had breast cancer, I lost my breast, then I lost my husband, then I lost my breast. Oh, yeah, my father's dead. Oh, yeah, blah, blah. Then I lost all my mind, and it was just loss on top of loss on top of loss.
Half to nothing. Yeah.
Right. But I have, at the same time, I have everything. At the same time, I have everything. Once you get to the other side of the grief, and this doesn't happen, especially because you were so young when this chain of losses started. It's a lot different when you lose someone when you're young and you have no conception, and there's just this huge.
But it makes you appreciate from that point on every love and every
right.
When you lose someone that young, I know I could have been, but when every person that loved me, you were my grandmother, adopted grandmother. You were my adopted mother. You're my,
isn't that interesting?
You are
because
my people.
Were you adopted? Were you adopted? Because I was adopted as well. And
no, I was not adopted.
But these
I
other
was not
people.
adopted, but my mother had 13 abortions, and I'm a miracle. Yeah, so I was not adopted, but I was had just.
Well, I mean, we have these parents because I was adopted, and I have played out such a pattern of abandonment in my life. It isn't funny. Everyone leaves. Jobs leave. Money leaves. Husbands leave. Everything.
Say that again. Will you say that again? You had dealt with every version
I
of
have just replayed this dance of abandonment all through my life. Through my life. Until I couldn't take it anymore because the losses had been, and then when my brother died, my mother started acting up, and she kind of abandoned me at the time I needed her. I have just played it out over and over and over again. They all look different. It looks different, but
I get it.
The same
I was
thing.
left home alone for days at a time, to where I'd call time and temperature and see what time it was, and they'd tell me, and I say day or night, and they say, what do you think? And hang up on me. I mean, I was left home alone for days at a time. I mean, nobody, she had me, but she didn't.
Yeah.
Cops were coming to the door, and I hid behind the chairs. Nobody was home. We didn't have cell phones. I didn't know where anybody was. No, it was frightening.
Yeah, it is. It's very frightening. It's very, very, very frightening until you realize that we're never alone, and that's where having this posse of dead people is so much better than having a posse of live people, because the dead people are always there. They're always there.
They're your
and when
army
you learn to
of
walk
angels.
around with them in your back pocket so that you know you're never alone, no matter how disappointing
you're right.
life is, and no matter how short of the mark, people that you think you can count on,
they're always there.
That's when you transmute this, and that's when you bring forth healing. I've been doing this genealogy on my father's family because they were Irish, and I don't know. So they were and my father's father married this, married into this kind of elite Danish family, and it was just you have to lose these drunk Irish people. Well, let me tell you something.
Right. But you know your mother and your father, right? Wait, let's back up. You know your mother and your father, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you're going into the genealogy with your father.
Of these people that were just forgotten. No one ever talked about them. It was my father had just been dropped down, And history continued to repeat itself because nobody was willing to look at it. They just made it, because it was so horrible that it took its toll. It took its toll on these people. So these people did not, there was a lot of alcoholism.
Yeah.
It was loud. It did not appeal to this elite Danish family who just wanted to, go to IKEA and have everything be simple and clean and quiet. And history just repeated itself. Just history, like the men would die young, and all through, there was just so many themes of history repeating itself over and over and over again, because nobody would deal with it. Nobody would deal with it. Nobody was willing to talk about it. Now everyone's dead. I asked my mother these things. She's like, oh, I don't know. We just didn't talk about things like that.
I know, right?
Back then.
And then
but
you have
if you can have the courage to just look at it, but look at it, not with rose-colored glasses, because that's just bullshit. Look at it just from a little different perspective. Look at, no matter how horrible that situation was, look at
but your
all
family,
the good that it did. I'm not comparing my situation to your situation.
Well,
I'm just talking
we
general.
kind of have to. We kind of have to, because mine was the same way. All the boys in my brother's family, I'm going to be a narcissist for like 3 minutes, okay? My mother got pregnant at 13, 14 years old. She got pregnant with a guy who was a Tuttle. Tuttle was like this disease name. So she had a son named Billy Tuttle. They had this lodge. They, were kind of a wealthy family. Two of the Tuttle brothers went on a fishing trip. They both got murdered. They were, my mother was 13, 14 with his kid. They were murdered maybe at 22, 23 years old. The lodge they had, or whatever this thing, burnt down. Billy, who was 6 when his father died, who was my brother, ended up dying at 21. It was like every one of these Huddle guys were like hexed. They all died. Every one of them died before they ever saw 25. His son included. Billy, Bill was his name. They were the family business burnt down to the ground. My mom's like,
that's how curses. Yeah, that's how curses start. I don't necessarily believe in curses per se, but if we do not transmute energy, if we do not change our perspective, history has nothing to do but repeat itself. And the way that it repeated itself, even though we had no exposure to these people, it was. And in my case, in my brother's case, we didn't even have it in our DNA. This was just nurture, not nature.
Really?
But it played out in both ways. It played out in the DNA. How the Bible talks about the sins of the father.
Yeah.
It's really the same thing. It's energy. It's energy that has not been transmuted.
Tell me how
it played out. Well, it turned out that father's father had this father who came to America by himself in 19, in the bottom of a boat, like, straight out of Titanic, like Jack Dawson, because his brother was already in America. His father died when he was 3. They immigrated from Ireland and then walked 120 miles from Liverpool to this town called Sheffield, where they lived like in absolute squalor and disease and were treated like crap because they were Irish. And then 3 days after this 19-year-old gets to America, his brother dies. His brother was only like 23. And so he had some trauma. He had a lot of trauma. So I believe, and I still haven't gotten to the bottom of it. And last night I won a reading with Renee Richards, and I'm going to use it to try to contact some of these people and get to the bottom of the story.
Mm-hmm.
He had some trauma, and so I think that he became an alcoholic, and I think the house was very chaotic and loud, and very unpredictable, and there was a lot of abuse, and there was abuse and there was poverty, and but they forgot about the good stuff. They forgot about how much courage they had, and how much perseverance they had, and they just focused on the whole. They just focused on the whole, that these people just keep, dying, and it consumed them. And then it played out because then my father's father died when he was young. He got tuberculosis, I guess, in World War I, and ended up like in a TB hospital. So that was just like him being dead, because he was just in this hospital far away. Then my uncle, who was my father's older brother, died at like 43, and then my father was never the same. He just shut down and started drinking. And he wasn't like loud and abusive, but he could be pretty passive aggressive and nasty and drunk. And there was just this huge hole where there was just a huge hole where there was supposed to be a family. And
he checked out.
And then he died at 72.
Did he check out after his brother got really sick?
Yeah, he got. Yeah, he checked out, but then he lived for 30 more years.
Were both the parents died, or were both?
Both the parents were dead by then.
Okay,
so he was an orphan and had no contact with his family. And these uppity Danish people, they were all dead by then.
Yeah.
So he had no. He was just alone. He had.
Yeah.
He was just alone. So he lived like that for 30 years.
Wow.
And then died at 72. And he was the oldest. He lived the longest of any male in this family since the 1700s.
But
people just died.
Did he interact with you and have conversation?
Sort of. He would. But then by nightfall, he would be drunk, and it would just break down into chaos, and it was just chaotic. It wasn't loud and abusive and people beating each other up and stuff, but it was just chaos. It was just
But
chaos.
he wasn't like that with you growing up.
Well, it's hard to. It's kind of hard to say, because yes and no in the same time. I've certainly heard more horrific stories, but I don't remember it being a warm, fuzzy place. You go to other people's houses, and it was filled with laughter, and people wanted to be there. No one ever wanted to be at my house because there was just a cloud over it. a cloud of, and then it played out with my brother. He became a horrible alcoholic. He died at 53. It just kept going on and on and on because nobody transmuted the energy. So sure, the stories sound totally different to the, to the naked eye. They sound different, but at their root, they're exactly the same, and it comes from not transmuting the energy, around it. And that's not to say, oh, this is such a great thing. This is such a great thing that happened. I'm so glad this happened. But at some point in time, you have to.
I'm not asking for help. I know.
No, I get it. But it's the same, and you're doing great.
I get it. I am.
But all of us have this.
Here's
I'm just
the
not
problem.
To you. All of us have this.
Here's the problem. After everything I went through, just all of it, like my eyes tear up just thinking about it.
Because it's so sad. It's so sad. And as I've been going through this, and then like yesterday with St. Patrick's Day, I was so sad yesterday. First of all, I missed my father so much. I wanted him in human form, so that
But you could kind of feel him, and
I feel him, and I also know that that the heavens are rejoicing that someone finally cared about, someone finally cared to find these lost people and to honor them. So I feel really good about that, and I feel all of that. And so that's
totally
good. But sometimes the sadness is just so
overwhelming.
It's just so overwhelming that you have to let it out, because it's very sad. But it doesn't mean that you're going back in time. It just means every once in a while it builds up, and you have to drain, and you have to drain it. You have to drain it. But it doesn't mean
you have to
then drain it and then remember how far you've come. So it's not like, oh, I'm back where I was, 20 years ago or something like that.
Yeah.
Just
Isn't
drain
it crazy,
and
though?
move
Isn't
forward
it crazy?
to where you are. It is.
But isn't it crazy how many years can go by and the pain is still as vivid and so strong?
Oh, yes. It is.
Oh my
it is.
God.
And I think if
I'm
you talk to everybody,
like, are you kidding me? Like,
some people's stories
it feels
are not
like it happened yesterday, but it's been 20 years because like your person, and so I don't try to carry it to anybody else. It's all my own pain and stuff. But sometimes when I dream about them and go through those, like those processes, like, oh my God, you butthole, you were alive this whole time, and it's all, a facade. And then I wake up and I'm like, okay, you're not alive. Okay, you're not alive. I'm okay. And then you go through, those phases, like, all right, you're not alive, and I still have to figure out a way to process that, those feelings, I'm an adult and I can do this, and you hear what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
I can't say
exactly.
the words.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't say the words, but that, like, just, oh my God, I loved you so much, and you were there in my dream, and now you're gone. And
right, and now you
were
like
supposed
totally
to be there the whole time.
Like yeah, like
you do know what I'm saying?
Over, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like you were alive all this time, and you, oh my God. Then wake up, and they're gone again, and heartbreaking.
But they're not gone, they're
never
go to
gone
a place
again.
Place where there's no time and no space where they are, and you can go, that you can go, you have to just slowly shift your perspective, inch by inch, half inch by half inch, millimeter by millimeter, shift your perspective till,
I always tell myself I am so lucky to have had something worth saying goodbye, to be so hard and heartbreaking, and they're my angels, and I'm protected, and they're always with me. But it's hard when you just go
so
day
just
to
count
day.
on it. Just count on them. Yeah, it is hard.
I do. It's
very hard. And then some days it's not. Some days it's not going to work. You know what? Some days.
Did you say you lost your husband?
Uh-huh.
How long ago?
That was in 2011. He was my boyfriend in college, and then we reconnected. And then he was my second husband. We reconnected, and
do you have kids
and
together?
then I had breast cancer. No, not with him. From my
okay.
first husband, who left me because he left me because he was a cocaine addict. I mean, I kicked him out, but he abandoned me too for cocaine. So, so anyway, so we reconnected, and we had like 6 good months, and then I got breast cancer. Then he had like it's such a long story, and he had like chronic pain. So then, like in year 3, we separated for a year. I had to put a restraining order on him, and then that was year 4. And then year 5 he died, and then year 5 he died. We reconnected the day the restraining order was over. I talked to him on the phone for 12 hours, and then he freaking died. So it's like, it's a sad story.
Was it a heart attack or?
No, he had leukemia, and then they got him addicted to OxyContin when he was in the hospital, and he died he had so much OxyContin because he would be in and out of the hospital, and they'd give him more, and he died of OxyContin overdose. Big, long, horrible story. Then the next year, my brother, it's like, it's just, but, it's not, today, it's not that bad. Today, for the most part, I'm happy. For the most part, I've got this whole legion of people, they're always pulling, I win more stuff than I used to win, and things work out. And it's okay. It doesn't mean that sometimes it isn't really, really sad. But
of course. I mean,
and then I shift my perspective, and you almost have to be grateful for the grateful. I mean, it sounds ridiculous to be grateful that that your mother was an incompetent mother, and all these people died, and all of this stuff. But
no, I get it. I think you have to be
because
grateful.
Grateful is the precursor to acceptance or forgiveness or whatever you want to call it. Gratitude.
No, can I tell you what I think?
Yes, you can say something. Sure.
Okay. I think that you become grateful because I've lost, so many, that I think when you have somebody that makes saying goodbye so hard, that has taught you so much, that you have to be grateful that you have something that makes saying goodbye so hard. Because there are so many people in this world that never give anybody a chance or let themselves go enough to love enough
Right.
to hurt in that way that it makes saying goodbye so hard.
Yeah.
And that's all
Well,
I got to say.
that is true. And we just need to continue to try to change our perspective inch by inch, half inch, quarter inch. Not just because if we just totally shift our perspective to the other side, like, oh, this is so great, or oh, this, it's not going to last. It's not going to last. It's like a crash diet. We don't, we can't. It's not sustainable. But if you inch by inch,
Just
change your perspective. That's how you get to a place where it is actually sustainable.
So are you on board with all this mindfulness stuff? Like, let's be mindful. And
I'm pretty negative person, but I do work very hard to change and a lot of this I learned from cancer, because I had like stage 3, it was like stage 3B, so it's almost stage 4 cancer, and I do remember kind of having this life review when I decided to live, and then also when Keith was dying, because he was so afraid to die, because he thought he was going to hell, I ended up kind of having, I guess, what you call a shared death experience, where I left my body and I went to, the only thing I could call it is Catholic heaven, because he was Catholic, but he wasn't really Catholic. Anyway, and I saw Catholic Jesus, and and my life's never been the same. So my mindful, I do know that this is only just a little tiny piece of the puzzle. And I do also try to study this thing called A Course in Miracles that kind of tries to shift your perception like this. But I don't believe in The Secret. I don't believe in manifesting. I think most of the New Age stuff is just a bunch of hogwash that reminds me so much of real, the religion that the people are running from. It's still, a lot of dogma and a lot of this and a lot of that. So I would say half and half. But I also know that energy is very real, and that
what's real?
Energy.
Oh yeah,
very real.
Yeah.
And that the only way to change a situation is to change the energy. Is to change the energy. I think that so that's
what blows me away, is that everybody thinks you have to be religious, and that spirituality is so
but then a lot of people I'm actually a lot more religious than a lot of people may know, just because when Keith was dying, I ended up, nobody else was there for me, but Catholic Jesus was there. So I actually have become a lot more religious than a lot more Christian than.
What church?
I don't go to church. I don't really go. Sometimes I go to church, and then now lately I go to kind of this, like, every once in a while I'll go to this sort of woo-woo kind of church here because I do really like the lady who runs it, but the people are just
but
like.
When he was dying, where did you go?
We didn't go. He was just Catholic. He was in AA where Christy poured out his coffee. So he kind of had like basic spirituality. I didn't do anything. But then after he died, I started going to church because of the Catholic Jesus thing. Then when I moved, I stopped. And, but my point is that I see a lot of New Age people be just as rigid about whatever New Age thing they think that this crystal's going to save them, just like, oh, if I don't dance, or if I don't, at the Footloose church, or if I don't have sex outside of marriage.
Yeah, if I wear these red boots, I'm like doomed.
If I cleanse this chakra, if I just do, and it just becomes very, very dogmatic and very, very rigid and very, very defeats the whole purpose. Just like because you're doing it to get a reward, like Pavlov's dogs or something. Like if I do this right.
Exactly.
I'm going to get a good thing, and so they bring all of their rigidness from whatever church they were having all the problems with, because that for a whole bunch of good reasons. Because a lot of horrible things have happened, but they bring that rigidness into their spirituality, and they anytime you're looking for something outside yourself to save you, it's going to be hugely disappointing, because at the end of the day, we have all the magic, and we've had it all along. So anyway,
let me tell you this.
Oh, go ahead.
Can I tell you this?
Yes, you certainly can. And if anybody else wants to unmute themselves, by all means do. But you go first.
Oh, my God. Are we still live and on, oh, Lord, on air or whatever?
Here, I'll stop.
Chris is probably so pissed.
No, it's fine.